evening and welcome once again to another edition of our Government at Work program. This program is being brought to you by the CCM-led Nevis Island Administration and hosted by yours truly, Keith Scarborough. It's a program designed to inform and educate all citizens and residents of Nevis, both at home and abroad, of the many positive developments that are taking place here on the island of Nevis. It's another wonderful Thursday evening here in Nevis, and it's a time when we all look forward to a night filled with information and good conversation as it pertains to the continued good governance of the CCM-led Nevis Island Administration. We look forward each week to go deep into discussions with the ministers of government, the advisors, permanent secretaries, department heads, as well as top officials from the various statutory corporations here on the island of Nevis. Each week as well, we make every effort to keep the discussions as frank and as honest as possible so that our listeners and viewers will get a true reflection of the developments that are taking place here in the land that we all call home. This program, I remind you, is broadcast live on VON Radio every Thursday evening from 8 to 9:30 p.m. Then we broadcast on Nevis Television on Sunday evenings from 8:30 p.m. This and other Government at Work programs, as well as our Bird's Eye View programs, can be seen on Facebook, YouTube, and the NTV web page. Once again, I would like to remind our Flow television viewers that our television programming can be seen on channel 103. And for those of you who have digital TV, our television programming can be seen on channel 99. So make sure that you log on each and every day of the week for our news package, our informative programs, and of course our entertainment package. We shall take a short break, and when we return, I shall introduce my guest for this evening's program to you. So stay locked on to the powerhouse of the Eastern Caribbean, VON Radio 860 AM.
So rise, St. Thomas is rise, St. James is put together and build your land. Rise, St. George's and St. Paul's together with St. John's. This land is enough for all to share. No reason to leave and go nowhere. Foreigners can come here from America and England. There is something mighty sweet about my land. And if the foreigners who live here can insist that it's here they're from, then I swear I'll never leave my native land. One people, one country.
Pleased to have as my guest this evening the Sales and Marketing Manager for the Nevis Tourism Authority, Mr. Pheon Jones, who is also the acting CEO at this time, following the recent retirement of the former CEO, Mr. Devon Lyverd. Mr. Jones, good evening and welcome to our Government at Work program.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for having me on this program this evening.
It's a pleasure having you, my friend. And since this is your first time on this program, I want to give you a hearty welcome to this very widely listened and informative program.
Okay.
Now, before we go into our main discussion this evening, Mr. Jones, let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. The Ministry of Tourism is currently celebrating its annual Tourism Awareness Month.
Yes.
And since the NTA works closely is the sister arm of the ministry, what part is the NTA playing in this month of activities, if any?
Well, we are playing a good part in the month of awareness. We are actually supporting the initiatives that they have. I don't have to hand here the calendar of all the events, but I can tell you they have a full calendar of events for this month. I know they had something recently in the Heritage last Friday, and they would have had the Tourism Youth Congress today, and we're there to support, basically market the information and push it out there alongside the Ministry of Tourism, because once they do well, we all do well, and it's one umbrella, even though it's two separate entities.
True. Mm-hmm. I will have Mr. John Hanley here next week as my guest, so he will outline the whole month of activities.
Okay, that's good.
I mentioned earlier that you are the acting CEO of the NTA. I think you have a different name for it. Tell us what the name is.
So currently I'm the interim administrator at the Nevis Tourism Authority, and my permanent position is Director of Sales and Marketing.
All right, great, thanks. So how are you coping thus far in that hot seat because as the old people would say, the higher up you go, the heavier the burden.
The hotter it gets.
The hotter it gets. So how are you coping thus far?
I think I'm coping pretty well. It's a lot of work, I must admit. But one of the things that we do understand, this is the driving force behind the economy of Nevis. It's tourism. And as the Premier usually says, tourism is everybody's business. So obviously every day I go to work and I give it my all. And I think things are coming along well. And I guess when we get in further to the discussion, we'll speak more about tourism and the trajectory in relations to moving up and the results, etc. That's why.
Okay. Great. Okay, well, we have quite a bit to get into this evening, so let's get straight into it. Mr. Jones, the 2024-2025 tourism season has ended.
Yes.
And even though some hotels and villas are still experiencing some good business as we speak, which we shall discuss a little later, I wanted to do some reflection on the just concluded tourism season. First of all, how do you compare this tourism season to that of last year?
Well, off bat, it has been better. It has improved. As a matter of fact, if I could just go back a bit to 2024, those numbers were ahead of 2019, and that was pre-pandemic COVID-19.
Great.
So obviously we had an increase last year, which was good, and I can currently say fully in confidence that this year has been better than last year as well. So that's even better. That speaks to what I said earlier, that tourism is on a rise. Things are getting better. Clearly people are experiencing Nevis and coming to Nevis, and the word is getting around and the marketing is working. So yes, 2025 is better. Tourism is doing very good.
Okay, that sounds good to us. Now let us focus for a little bit on the cruise ship calls to our shores this past season.
Yes.
How many ships we managed to attract to our shores during the just concluded season, and what does the numbers look like in terms of passengers to our shores?
Okay. So this year we had 54 calls, and that's up from last year. Last year we had 51 calls, and in relations to the tourists that we were able to attract to the shores, we had 15,684, and that is up. Last year we had just about 13,769. So, as I said, the numbers are doing better. Things are working.
Things are projecting upwards.
Yes.
Okay. I had the former CEO of the NTA here about a year ago, Mr. Devon Liebert.
Yes.
And he mentioned at the time that the smaller cruise ships that will normally visit our shores in Nevis is going out of business. Do you share that view?
That's a tough question. I am sure the former CEO in his wisdom and knowledge knows why he would have said that. Yes, we've seen a decrease in certain parts of it. If I share the same view, I think time will tell. And time will tell. I want to leave it there. Time will tell. Yes.
Okay, fine. Now, let's go with him for a while. If the smaller cruise ships are truly going out of business, then it means that we will have to try and attract some of the larger cruise ships to our shores. And that is something that all of the administration that governed Nevis over the years was not in favor of. So how does the NTA plans to go forward as far as the cruise tourism is concerned, if what he's alleging is true?
In relations to going after the bigger ships?
Yes, because he's saying the smaller ones are going out, which means we'll have to look elsewhere.
Well, I love this question, boy. Very tricky, yeah. Well, obviously, by going after the bigger ships, you would have more passengers, obviously. And by having more passengers, that will work for the vendors, the tours, etc. So it'll be more income coming into the island. One of the things I think the discussion will be led in relations to the tourism product and the brand. So, in Nevis, we go after more luxury, high-end, etc. And if you're speaking about bigger cruise ships, you're looking at more mass tourism. So I'm thinking there would have to be a more stronger, structured discussion between NTA and the NIA, and then we will see if we will go down that road. And at that point in time, we'll obviously have to put the proper infrastructure in place to accommodate those bigger ships. So I guess, again, time will tell on that one. But as of right now, I can confirm that what we are doing right now, we have seen the results, and the results are looking good. And again, they're trending upwards.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Let me divert away from Mr. Liebert and his small cruise ship going out of business. Are you seeing that happening anytime soon?
In relation to the bigger...
The smaller cruise ships. You know, you mentioned that they were going out.
Depends on what we say soon is. I guess soon will be a couple of years from now. Okay. So it can happen. We still have some time. You have enough time to plan, etc. Right. But soon will be a couple of years.
Okay, that was the what I was trying to get at. If we have time to sit down and decide.
I see you batting.
Now, land-based tourism has always been a top priority for the CCM-led Nevis Island Administration.
Yes.
And quite a lot of effort was put into it, especially after the COVID-19 pandemic. We are beginning to see the fruits of that labor because, as we mentioned earlier, the tourism sector is growing here on the island of Nevis. Even though the tourism season has come to an end, we are still seeing reasonable occupancy in our hotels and villas across the island. What would you say is the driving force behind this positive development out of season being so reasonable?
Well, I think we could take some credit as an island. I think it's the marketing and the overall product that we have. I think we've seen some great development in the product thus far for the Nevis tourism sector. We've recently had the upgrade to the Bad Springs. That was a great addition. And I know the PS, when he gets here, he will speak more about the other additions that they have done recently and they plan to do in the future. In addition to that, we've had some renovations via the stakeholders, which are the hotels, the restaurants, etc. So I think overall it has a combination of those things. It has to do with the improvement of not only the stakeholders and the product itself, but also the people as well. I think we offer top-notch service when it comes to tourism, and when I say we, I mean the people of Nevis in collaboration with the great marketing that Nevis Tourism Authority and the Ministry of Tourism endeavor to produce. So I think all of those things in a combination has really led to the success of the tourism season, and I think it's going to get better going forward.
Okay, great. Now, the NTA, Nevis Tourism Authority, is mainly responsible for the marketing of Nevis to the outside world, putting heads in beds in the various hotels and villas across the island of Nevis. So I want to focus a bit on some of the marketing strategies that are being used by the Nevis Tourism Authority under your leadership, of course. I want to start with the visionary move by the CCM-led Nevis Island Administration to introduce the film industry to our shores, because I believe that is beginning to bear fruit, and in time to come that initiative is going to play a major role in attracting visitors to our shores. Your thoughts on that initiative?
Yes, I concur. As we've seen many movies that would have been produced on the island of Nevis. And of course, the thing about movies, they are watched all over the world. And, when you see movies and they show the scenery, the vibe, the things that you can experience on the island, etc., it really gets the word out there. So, of course, film is a big part of tourism, and it really helps to attract persons to the island. So, yes, I'm for that. And we're hoping to see some more pickup as it relates to the film. A little birdie would have picked me on the ears, and they told me some good news that we're hoping to see some more movements in that sector. I can't give up the information. They will have to come and give it out. But I think with more increase in that industry, more eyes on the island of Nevis, that in turn should translate to more persons coming to our shores.
True. That I was going to ask you, do you think that perhaps that is one of the reasons why we are experiencing a reasonable off-season thus far?
Well, I would say it contributes. And I also think that with some of the other factors that I mentioned, the increase, the improvement in the product, the increase in the overall marketing, and also the stellar service that we provide, here as Nevisians, I think all of that put together has really helped the island move forward.
Okay. Now, speaking of the film industry, several of the stars who participated in those films that were produced here in Nevis have been using their social media page to speak of their great experience in Nevis. I would like you to speak a little about the benefits of that added bit of marketing, which comes at no cost at all to us and to the island people of Nevis. So speak a little to that.
Well, We all
bonus,
know.
if you will.
We all know. When it comes to celebrities, they're very popular.
Right.
And when you speak of celebrities, especially Instagram and Facebook, their following usually is in the hundreds of thousands, and sometimes in the millions, and sometimes tens of millions. So with that being said, them even coming here and sharing an experience on the island, and we know how persons follow celebrities, that will really boost the profile of the island, and I dare so of course that's going to contribute to persons coming to the island. One, persons want to be like their favorite celebrity. That's one. Two, people want to go to the places that their celebrities would have traveled to because they trust them when it comes to the feedback and the experience, so they themselves will want to experience that. So yes, that's also always a good thing to have celebrities come speak from the heart and speak about the experience they have had, and that translates to persons coming and staying and spending funds within the economy. So that's always a plus.
Of course, it's a plus. Now, tourism is growing here in Nevis. We're seeing the expansion. How concerned are you about the availability of rooms on the island? Because where we are going with expansion, additional rooms will be necessary in the not too distant future.
Well, essentially, that's a good problem to have.
Of course.
I mean, if you do have that problem and you have it consistently and long enough, well, obviously, the governments and the persons or the stakeholders who are involved will probably have to move to, get some more, attract some more investment and possibly open some more hotels. So that is actually a great problem. It's a problem we wish we could have. As a matter of fact, I dare say it's a problem we wish we could have all year round and not just during the tourism season, because we would love for Nevis to be an all year round attraction. So
sure, that's the whole plan.
I'm really hoping. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, we are seeing a number of new villas being constructed and a number of new restaurants opening up along the island, especially on the Pinnis Beach area.
Yes.
What effect, if any, is this having on your marketing efforts?
I think it's having a great effect, actually. And it's more things, more activities for persons to participate in, more dining areas, any business that's opening and helping and contributing, whether it's displaying culture, giving an experience, that in itself lends to the overall experience for tourists and persons to come. Everybody experiences stuff differently. We all have a different perspective, and I think the more options we have, the better it is for tourism, and it helps our marketing even more. I'm not going to say it makes it easier, but I'm going to say it lends to the overall experience and bringing people here and keeping people here.
Oh, great. Now, before the COVID-19 pandemic, tourism officials, including members of staff at the NTA, used to travel to the various tourism trade shows across the globe. Trade shows such as the World Travel Market in London, ITB in Germany, Miami, trade shows, etc., all in an effort to market the island of Nevis. However, since the COVID-19 pandemic, online marketing has taken center stage and has opened up additional markets to small islands such as ours. How helpful has the online marketing been to your marketing efforts?
Well, online marketing has always been very helpful. As a matter of fact, one of the things about online marketing and social media, you're able to reach a broader audience by spending less, right? So it's economically prudent, I guess, if I could put it that way. With the online marketing, you get a real bang for your buck. You're able to cast a broader web and bring in persons who obviously would want to come to Nevis. So that has been a tremendous help, online marketing and social media. And one of the great things as well, you're able to target the persons that you want. So it's so advanced now, you're able to filter out who you don't want and target the ones you want. So it's a great help. And just to be clear, traveling to other destinations, countries, islands to promote Nevis, that still happens, but it's more of a targeted approach, because everything we do, we want to get the biggest bang for the buck possible. So yes, it's a great help, online marketing.
When you travel, I'm glad you brought that up, that some traveling is still being done.
Of course, yeah. Some is still very key and necessary.
Do you travel with other hoteliers, entertainers, or you just go on yourself? And
I'm glad you asked that question. It depends on what we are going to do and the target or the objective of that travel. I know that last year the Premier would have spoke about Tenerife and us going to Tenerife with a special delegation. We would have been targeting some affluent African Americans, and with that we would have traveled with a band for them to experience a taste of Nevis and the cultural scene of it, especially the music side of it. Outside of that, now from time to time we do road shows in the Northeast US, New York, Connecticut, those feeder markets, and those are our strongest markets. So from time to time we travel there and we go with hoteliers, right? So persons like the Four Seasons, Golden Rock, etc., they would be there as well on the road shows. We go from different states, etc. We're up there 4 or 5 days, and we're presenting to possibly 60 to 70 persons each night. Within the road shows, we will see possibly 250 to 300 travel advisors in 5 days. And those travel advisors, obviously by being educated by us, they would be able to now go and advise their clients on why they should come to Nevis. So essentially the overall game is to keep Nevis at the forefront of their minds. Right? And obviously if we're always at the forefront of their minds, they will in turn sell it to their clients, and persons will come here. We know obviously when they come, the benefits of them coming to Nevis. And we have other campaigns that I could elaborate on later.
Okay. Now, I had the opportunity of traveling to World Travel Market.
Oh, okay.
And
How was that?
ITB in Germany.
Oh, okay. How was that?
I would have seen, it was great. It was great.
Okay.
I would have seen the various islands displaying their heroes, so to speak. Antigua, for example, had Curtly Ambrose and Andy Roberts, Vic Richards. Barbados had different, and some of the other islands had their own bands playing there, a lot of bands. You traveled, I'm sure you would have seen some entertainment coming from some of the other different countries.
Yes.
So I am just trying to find out if that at some point will be a part of the NTA marketing strategy, because I don't think it's a bad strategy to expose your talent to the things.
And it's not that necessarily it's not a part of it. Again, it just depends on where we are and the target at that point in time. Because as I said earlier, we've traveled places where we've brought musicians, we've traveled places where we've brought the hoteliers. I know we've traveled places where they've brought persons to prepare various Nevisian cocktails, so it just depends on where we are and what would lend towards that setting. But again, I agree with your point. Putting the sporting icons, persons who would have brought fame to the island via various fields. That's a great idea, and of course, that's something that we have done in the past, and we need to. We will do more of it in the future.
Of course. Now, we all know that it depends a lot on financing.
Yes,
and
resources.
What I saw Barbados did, and it's something that probably Nevis could look at, is to have a big screen television in their area, and then you're showcasing your talent. If you can't work with them, at least on that television, you're seeing the masquerade, the string band, the various artists, and that wouldn't cost you anything much. So that's something you could look at.
Definitely.
Okay. Now, for years we focused our marketing efforts in the North American area, in Canada, Europe, to attract visitors to our shows. But of late we are witnessing a major push by some countries to target the African continent as well. Is the NTA looking to venture into that market as well, despite the difficulties in traveling to and from that destination?
Yes. So one of the things I want to say is that the NTA, we have been looking at different markets.
Yes.
Actually, even before all of this, what I want to say, conversation in relations to our major market, which is the United States. We have been looking at other markets. I don't want to say the other markets on radio yet, but we have been looking to see how we could attract and get into other markets, and it's something that's definitely on the docket. We've been having many discussions, so eventually, very soon, we probably are going to move in the direction to start to push resources in these different markets to start to attract different tourists from different regions to obviously add icing on the cake. Yes.
Now, speaking of the difficulties in getting to and from Nevis, the much talked about upgrades to the Vance W. Amway International Airport is expected to begin shortly, and it is anticipated that it will take about 18 months to be completed. When that day comes and we begin to get direct flights coming out of Miami and other regional destinations, what effect do you see that having on your marketing efforts?
I think it's going to be tremendous, right? As a matter of fact, if I could even look into the future and see that, I think it's going to be great. I think the marketing will go from 100 to 200. Having direct flights, we all know, is a game changer. So if that happens, and you spoke earlier about not having enough rooms, I think then at that point we definitely may not have enough rooms, and we may have to seriously consider getting more rooms. So I too, just like everyone else, look forward to that day, and I can't wait because I think it's going to be a game changer, and I think it's going to take the marketing from 100 to 200, and I think I'm excited about that day.
Good. Me too.
Yeah, I think all of us.
Now, let me ask you this. Over the years, we have received many accolades as a tourism destination.
Yes, we have.
A number of travel writers has written good stuff in the various travel magazines about Nevis.
Yes, Mount Nevis just won one, actually, Yeah,
okay.
Yes.
But how effective will you say those were in terms of putting heads in beds or attracting visitors to our shows?
I think it's extremely good and effective, because one of the things I've realized is people get information from different sources. And I think when it comes to our destination, stakeholders, various entities getting awards on Nevis, that helps, because that speaks to the validity of the place, whether it's the hotel, the restaurant, and I think it speaks volumes to possibly the customer service, the food, or whatever they're offering. Because to win an award, for it to say you're the best or you're good in this field, that in itself really, sets you apart, and that speaks to people when they're looking at somewhere to go to spend their time as a tourist. So I think that really helps. Still, there's still room for that type of marketing and information that people gather. I think it's a big help still. Yes.
I think so too, but I think that the celebrities speaking good about Nevis on their Facebook page may actually be more beneficial to us than those write-ups. That is why I think the introduction of the film industry to Nevis is such a great initiative by the CCM-led Nevis Island Administration. But that's only me. What's your take on my sentiments?
I think two of them will work hand in hand. I don't think we have to replace one with the other. I think both will work. It's always good that somebody could go on Google and Google Nevis, and awards come up about Mount Nevis, Four Seasons, etc., Sunshine, all these places. And yes, it's always good that someone is going to be following their favorite celebrity and they're speaking about Nevis. So I think both of it works. One of the things I want to express that when it comes to marketing, I believe in a blended approach. If you're going to use the newspaper, the radio, social media, all of it works best together, opposed to one being it by itself. So yeah, that's my take.
Point. Okay, yeah. I like your response.
Thank you.
Now, with your marketing efforts bearing more and more fruits, so will the demands on the staff at the Nevis Tourism Authority. Do you feel that you have enough personnel on staff to keep with the ever-increasing demands that is sure to come your way?
Boy, you're asking some questions here tonight, man. You're batting. I think we are managing in relations to what we have right now. And I do believe once the increase is happening and is constant and significant, then at the Nevis Tourism Authority, we will then move to put necessary resources in place. But as of right now, we are doing pretty well with what we have, and we are making it happen.
Now tell us a little bit about your staff at the NTA and their various responsibilities.
I have great staff. I am down there. It's currently 7 overall. It's myself and 6 female staff, and they keep me on my toes. I must admit that, but they do a great job. When you say speaking, you want me to call names and go?
Yeah, their responsibilities.
Okay, fine.
Give them the kudos.
Fine by me. Okay, so let me start from downstairs and come upstairs. Downstairs we have Cavell, so that's Cavell Swanston. I'm sure everybody knows Cavell, Swanston Howell. I know she has done a lot of singing and stuff in the past, so I'm sure she's popular from that. But she deals in the visitor center. She's very versed when it comes to engagement, especially with the tourists, etc. She could have a great conversation, you really warm and make you feel like you're at home, and I think that's one of her specialties. So she deals with the engagement, the visitor center, and she also deals with cruise tourism. We also have Tracy Fraser. She's also in the visitor center, and her specialty is the cruise tourism as well. And she's also very great when it comes to engagement with the tourists when they come in and they ask about where to go, etc. And she really gives them the information. And so I think I have 2 great staff downstairs. They're there, and those ladies are the first faces you see when you come into the tourism authority. They have a lovely smile, they're warm, they're welcoming, and so I think they do a very good job downstairs. So I just want to say big up, as we say locally, to Tracy and Cavell. Now, when you come upstairs now, you have the remaining staff members. We have Jamela Hendrickson, and she is the executive secretary, so she works closely with me. She also is the office manager, so she keeps the day-to-day of the operations running, make sure that the staff, they need what needs to get done. She makes sure that they have the resources to get it done, scheduling meetings, and make sure the office runs as smoothly as possible. We also have Suan Collins. She's our digital and social media officer, DSS specialist. She deals with the social media, our Instagram and Facebook page, and she also deals with a lot of the Google Analytics, and she works closely with our marketing firm Tambourine. So she does a very good job in relations to maintaining our social media presence. They look at the various posts that we have to post and keep the information out there consistent with our brand and goal. So that is Suan and Jamela. We also have Charmaine Jeffers. She's the accountant at the Nevis Tourism Authority. Of course, I don't need to elaborate much on that. She makes sure that the funds are in the kitty so the operations can continue to go. And then we have, last but not least, Julie Claxton. That is our UK manager and airline specialist. So she helps out and deals with the information as it relates to the airlines, and she's also the specialist as it relates to the UK and travelers from that side. Very versed, knowledgeable. She has been there some time as it relates to the UK, and all of the staff, they are very versed in their field. They do a very good job. And I think we have a good solid team, and I just want to say big up to the team of NTA. All of you guys are doing a very good job and continue to do the job that you do. And I am there, and I think they make my job easier. And obviously I'm the director of sales and marketing and the interim CEO, and I ensure that all of the moving pieces are moving in the correct direction. So that's the best way to put it.
I hear you, my brother.
Yes.
Now, you see, I get you to mention this stuff because sometimes you have to give them the kudos.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah, you can't work without them.
Right. Now, you did mention that Julie, what's her last name?
Julie Claxton.
Julie Claxton.
I think he used to be liable. Don't quote me on that, but I know as Julie Claxton.
Okay, Julie Claxton deals with the UK market.
Yes.
You did mention the US market and the other markets. Who deals with the other markets?
Okay, well, given that I'm the director of sales and marketing, I am the one with direct responsibility to the US market.
Right.
and then I oversee the UK market via Julie, and the Caribbean market falls under me as well. So yes,
I knew, but I wanted you to tell the public because you're speaking to the public. Not me.
Yes, yes, clarity. Yes.
Right. Now, Mr. Jones, I want to move now to the premier event for the Nevis Tourism Authority, which is the Mango Festival. This festival has taken on a life of its own and has now become one of the biggest events on the calendar of activities here on the island of Nevis.
Yes.
Last day, in my view, was the biggest and the best one we have had thus far.
Yes.
This is an event that is now attracting persons from all across the region and further afield. It's an event that many listening to this program this evening are eager to hear more about. So before we get into the activities that are slated to take place over the 3-day period, July 4 to 6. Tell us how preparations are going thus far.
Preparations are going very good, actually. If I had to put a number to it, I would say we are at possibly 85% in preparation, and the extra 15% is inclusive of marketing. So we really had more than that. I think that the team has done a very good job this year, because we have started planning Mango Fest 2025 since 2024, given the success of last year and how big, as you just said, the event is growing and has grown over the last couple of years. We have really seen a significant increase in not only attendance but also popularity. So we have been planning it, and I think this year is going to be the biggest year. It's going to surpass last year with flying colors.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Tell us a little about your marketing efforts as well for this major event.
Well, when it comes to Mango Festival, we do a lot of marketing for Mango Festival. I always tell people I think that this festival really speaks to the culture and Nevisians as a whole, because I know you would have had memories of eating mangoes when you were younger. I'm hoping you grew up outside and not inside. I kind of feel you grew up outside. And you would know about, stoning mangoes, and, when you have your mangoes, you and your friends them go, and you all sit down and eating and talking. And for me, if I was to speak about the Sunday event, essentially, when you're at the Sunday event, it's like the same thing, when I get there, I'm going to speak. I jump in. Sorry. So yes, it's like that. Let me stop. Go ahead.
I tell you what, we'll take a break here, folks. You're listening to Government at Work. My guest this evening is Mr. Pheon Jones, acting CEO of the Nevis Tourism Authority. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we shall continue with our discussions here on Government at Work.
So right, St. Thomas is right, St. James is put together and build your land. Right, St. George's and St. Paul's together with St. John's. This land is enough for all to share. No reason to leave and go nowhere. Foreigners can come here from America and England. There is something mighty sweet about my land. And if the foreigners who live here can insist that it's here they're from, then I swear I'll never leave my native land. One people, one country.
Mr. Jones, let us continue our discussions here in this wonderful Mango Festival that is upcoming.
Yes.
Now, enlighten us now on what we can expect on the first day of the Mango Festival for 2025.
Well, before I do that, the first unofficial day, can I speak about that?
Sure.
Okay. Sure. So the first unofficial day will be on the 3rd of July, which is the Thursday. And this is where we will officially open the Mango Festival. That would be at the Malcolm Gishard Park on the 3rd. And it will start at around 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. After that, we have a panel discussion that starts at 10:45, and that will last for an hour. And we will speak about, various topics, nutrition, the benefits of mango, the health side of it, because, in this day and age, one of the main focus, not only in St. Kitts but in the world, is healthier living and, the lifestyle in itself. So that's actually the first unofficial day. So that will be on the Thursday at the Malcolm Gishard Park. And if persons want to come, you're invited. You can go online. The tickets are free. So go to nevismangofest.com and you could book a ticket to come to the actual panel discussion to participate and learn.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Before you go into day one,
Okay.
since you preempt me with
Okay,
tell us about who is going to be your panelists.
Okay, so we have some very versed persons. We have Daniel Arterton. I don't want to give out all the names today.
Okay.
Daniel Arterton. We will have someone from agriculture as well. And just to speak on Daniel Arterton, because we all know he's very versed when it comes to agriculture as well.
Right.
Daniel Arterton and a person from agriculture. And we're also going to have the celebrity chef.
Right.
Which I'm going to speak to
Speak
after.
later. Right.
He will be there as well. And we'll also have persons who are versed in the field of nutrition. So, the panel will be a very interesting panel. We will release that shortly. But I think the information is what we want to focus on, because I think that's imperative, especially in this day and age. So I just want to invite everyone out to that. And if you can't make it, I think we're going to bring that part of it live as well. So it's going to be a good discussion. And I think persons will learn a lot.
Okay, one more question about the opening day. The opening ceremony.
Yes.
What is that going to be like?
The opening ceremony is where you will have, the officials speak. I myself will be there. We will have the premier, possibly the PS of tourism. And, we're going to speak around, the benefits, the vision of the overall Mango Festival, possibly, when it started and what it has done for the island. And, bless it to have a good, successful festival. So, that's how your opening looks. And then, of course, your sponsors are going to be there as well. Not certain if I have time to just throw in the sponsor's name. Can I?
Of course.
Okay, so I just want to say, big up to the sponsors. I can name 4 of them tonight. One, the cable. Thank you for coming on board. We have seen recently that they are migrating, if I could use that word, to Nevis. So, big up to the cable for coming on board. Thank you very much for that. I also want to say big up to the Four Seasons Resort. They have been on board with us almost every year, so I just want to say thank you very much to the Four Seasons Resort. They've always look out when it comes to the Nevis Mango Festival. I also want to say thank you to Island Purified. They're one of our big sponsors, Island Purified Water. They're coming on board again this year. Last year they came on board in a significant way, and this year they're doing the same thing again, so thank you very much to them. And last but not least, right now we have the Bank of Nevis Limited, improving the quality of life. They are on board, and I think they're going to release tomorrow possibly what they're on board with, the amount they're on board with. But I just want to say thank you to them. And we also have some other sponsors that are pending right now. And I think right now I want to just put in a quick plug. If you want to be a sponsor at this year's Nevis Mango Festival, please reach out to us at Nevis Tourism Authority, and we could have the discussion and we could see in what tangible way you can come on board. So I just want to invite everyone to come on board, because one of the things I want to say is this festival is for all of us. And when I say all of us, I just don't mean divisions and petitions. It's for all of us. It really speaks to the culture of who we are as a people. So come on board. And if you can't come on board in that way, come out to the festival. So it's all about support.
Okay, great. One last question on the pre-day.
Okay.
Is there any entertainment per se on that pre-day?
The panel discussion. That will be
That's
the entertainment.
all.
Yes,
Okay.
come
All
out.
right.
We want it to be an atmosphere persons are going to learn. So yes, that will be the entertainment.
Okay, all right. Okay, good. Now, enlighten us now on what we can expect on the first day of the
Day
Mango
one.
Festival.
Okay.
Day one.
Day one. So day one, we are going to be at Ubrenta. And I'm hoping that most persons will know where it is. But if you don't, that is on the way to the Sea Bridge. It's right in that area on the right-hand side, on the main road. It's a lovely place. Rodney Fleming, I think, he's the owner. So we're going to be there for the opening. And at 11 a.m., we'll have the master class. And that will be led by our celebrity chef, Chef Brian Terry. He is from the U.S., the Los Angeles side, the Bay Area. I think he's actually one of the top 10 10 smartest people was voted for in a magazine about that. In addition to that, he's a writer of books, very intelligent young man, and he has a love for food. His bio speaks about his soulful cooking when it comes to food and how he blends recipes, and it's very big on agriculture and eating natural foods, etc. So he will be there to lead his masterclass that will start at 11 a.m. and we'll go for 1 hour. 15 persons will be lucky. They have signed up and they're successful, and they will be able to cook with the celebrity chef. I must say right now, unfortunately, it is sold out. So you can't, come into that experience and cook with him. But what you can do, you can come and watch. And hopefully after they finish cooking, you could taste, right? So you may win out in that area. So you can come and do that, and that will be at Ubrenta again from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. So after that, we are going to go into the Mango Mania. That's a family-friendly event. That is only $10 to get in. We are going to stay at Ubrenta. So that starts directly after, I dare say 12:30, and you will have your family-friendly events. You will have the mango eating competition. That's a fan favorite. One of the things I want to say right now is you have to eat it down to the seed. That's the only how you're going to win. So if you plan to enter the mango eating competition, you have to eat it down to the seed, right? You're also going to have the mango stoning competition, and I am being reliably informed that this and that will enter this year, the mango stoning competition.
I was good at that, actually.
Okay. So you know the trick, hit the stem, not the fruit. So you have that. You also have the mixologist competition on that day. And last year we had the mango tug of war. I think that is going to return again this year. We have a very popular debate in St. Kitts and Nevis, and the debate is between which mango is the best mango. We have 44 different varieties, but for some reason there's always two of them at the top, which is the Julie mango and the Amrapali. So we had that tug of war last year, and if memory serves me correctly, the Amrapali would have won that tug of war. So we're going to see who is the favorite mango this year via tug of war. We have your arts and craft. We have music. We're going to have so much things to do for persons when you come out there. Have a good time. You will be able to go at the bar as well, eat some food, mango infused dishes. It's going to be a good time, I dare say. And that will go straight down until around 5:30 p.m. But after that, we still haven't finished the first day. We're going to then venture down to the Pinnies Beach. And there's some 6, 7, 8 bars down there. And we're going to have a mango crawl. We should call it a mango walk because of the proximity of the bars. Each bar down there will have their own mango infused cocktails. And the price point is only $15 EC. I would say get your designated driver. We're going to have a good time. We're going to go from bar to bar, sampling the different mango infused cocktails. We know the popular bars down there. Just to name 1 or 2: Weekend, Sunshine, Turtle Time, etc. We are going to have a good time on that Friday night, and that concludes day 1.
Wow, that's loaded.
It's a lot.
Lead us now into day 2.
Day 2. This is July 5th. It's a Saturday, and we start at 11:30 a.m. We start with the Passport Food Tour. Now, what is that? You're going to venture through Nevis. It's an island tour. We have 3 packages. Package number 1, $100, comes with paraphernalia. You will get your shirt, your bottle, and you will jump in your own car, and you will visit the various establishments within the passport. So the passport will have 7 bars in there. I'm going to name them right now. We have Pass Bar. We also have H&M, that's in Cotton Ground. We have On the Rocks. We have Carbos. We have Sophia's, that's at we have Heritage Village, Sophie at Heritage Village. We have Big Six, and we have Rosemary. So you're going to get your shirt, your bottle, and your passport tour with $100. You jump in your own car, and you're free to go to these establishments on your own, or you could come along with us. For the second package, $125, you're able to jump in the party bus or the safari, and you get the paraphernalia with the passport. And for $175, that is inclusive of the boat transfer and the paraphernalia and the party bus or safari. And we're going to each bar, and at each bar the sample is only $10 EC. When you get to these bars, and once you sample what they have, the mango infused dishes, they will give you a stamp in the passport. So in itself, it's an experience. You get to go on the entire island visiting these mom and pop stores that, you know, off the beaten track that persons don't usually visit per se. So it's an island tour with a twist, because you get to eat mango infused samples. Can't beat that.
And that's
and that goes from 11:30 a.m. to around 5 p.m.
okay. And nothing else on that day?
No, I'm not done yet. We still have something
okay.
else. So in the evening, starting at around 7 p.m., we will have the supper club, and it's a 3-course meal at the lovely Golden Rock. And our celebrity chef Brian Terry, he will be preparing a 3-course meal. And one of the things I should have said earlier, he is a plant-based chef. Yes, very bold move. And as I said earlier, one of the things that we want to stick to and promote is a healthier living, a healthier lifestyle. Now, just a disclaimer, I am not saying that Mango Fest has gone vegan. That's not what I am saying. I am saying he's a plant-based chef, and we have options for persons who prefer non-plant-based. We have local chefs who will be there, and they will handle the non-plant-based side, so you could come, get your fish, etc., if you're not into fully the plant-based. So that will happen at Golden Rock. We are currently working on the menu. I think I saw a draft as recent as today, and I can say it looks absolutely lovely. That will come soon, and once we release that, you will call Golden Rock and book your reservations directly through Golden Rock. And we know how beautiful that hotel restaurant is, especially at night when the light hits that architectural work. Can't wait.
Sounds good. Sounds real good.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Jones, we come to the big one, what I consider the big one, the final day, Sunday, July 6th. Shed some light on that there for us.
Ooh, Sunday, July 6th. Last year we had 2,536 persons. This year we anticipating more. We are going to be at the Malcolm Gishard Park. We are going to, or you are going to be able to come as early as 11:30, 12. That's called early check-in. And the event starts at 1 p.m. All the gates to the park on the side facing the road that's going to the beach are open. Those will be the entrances. And as you've seen last year, we're using the entire park. We have 50 plus chefs, and you can get your various samples from your chicken, your fish, your shrimp, oh boy, your popsicle. I'm not certain if you're gonna have mango chewing gum. You know, there's so much things that they can do with mango. We are going to have it there. We have the kids zone. We have face paint, massages. We also still have a big announcement, hopefully, that's coming by next week, where we're having the return of the mango concert. Just to give 2 of the names, I guess I can do that as well. I know we are going to have Easy. He is going to bless the stage this year for the mango concert. And we're also going to have Garlic return for the mango concert. I'm going to, at next date, a little further, release the full lineup for the mango concert. But you know, it's so much things to do on that day. In addition to that, we'll have the chef competition. We're currently having discussions with other islands to see who's going to come and possibly challenge the Nevis Island. The Nevis Island has won 3 years in a row. So we're going to see if they're going to be dethroned this year or if they're going to keep it this year. But just to continue to speak about the overall For the Love of Mangoes event, it's a great event. And when I spoke earlier about when you were younger and you got your mangoes and you and your friends were speaking, and let's say, you know, Miss Jeffer's tree sweet. You're going to tell your friends, oh, you know, that tree down when Miss Jeff was sweet, and everybody will go to that tree. Similarly, on the Sunday, that's what happens. We replace the trees then with the booths for the persons.
Okay.
Right? So that's essentially what it is. We're not using the trees, we're using the booths where the persons are cooking. And you know, when you go to somewhere and let's say somebody cooking chicken and it's sweet, you can say, well, I go over there, that's the chicken. It's the same thing. And that's why I say now, this I feel is a part of the culture. It's really like Nevision culture, you know. We just replace the trees and put down the chefs them cooking the various infused mango samples. So, you know, it really speaks to the culture overall. I think persons need to visit www.nevismangofest.com. You can get your tickets online. The ticket price is $90. We'll get you 5 samples. 115 will get you 10 samples, and 135 will get you 15 samples. But if you don't want a sample, you just want to come in and lime, we have the limers package, and that's only $50. And we also have a ticket for the kids, 5 to 11, 3 samples, $30 EC. And of course, all of the activities for the kids, whether it's the bouncing castle, you know, the play set, etc., all that's free. As a matter of fact, I know some of the parents tell me when they come, their kids go their way to play and they enjoy the Mango Festival. So, you know, I just want to encourage everyone to do not miss Mango Festival this year. I think it's going to be one for the books. I encourage everyone to come to the Mango Festival. Physical tickets, they're at the Nevis Tourism Authority.
I was just about to ask you that.
Yes.
So, last year, Mr. Jones, there was more than enough food and drink on hand for everyone.
Yes.
Everyone I spoke to seems to have been very satisfied.
Yes.
The patrons will be looking for similar treat this year. What would you like to say to those persons?
Well, I want to say to those persons, if you came last and you had a great time, come this year for an even better time. We are going with the same formula in relations to the chefs, 50 chefs, and they are going to be cooking various mango-infused dishes. I think you're going to have a great time, as you said earlier, so that, you know, all them said there was so much food. Some even complained and say it was too much food, but my argument is you were fully satisfied. I mean, that being said, because the experience was great and you had a good time, don't just come alone this year. Bring a friend.
All right. Now, last year there were quite a lot of vendor stalls erected all around the grounds, and all of them were occupied. Yes. How many vendors will you be catering for this year, and what is the cost of one of those stalls?
Vendors, as in pay, when you go on your pay, or
the
ticket?
The people that was running the booths.
The booths?
Yeah, those booths you had.
For us, okay. Yeah. Those, well, to be a chef at the Nevis Mango Festival, you can call Nevis Tourism Authority and we'll sign you up. Essentially, it's not that you'll have to pay. It's a different formula, strategy. Okay. So we are willing to have that discussion with anyone once they call, and we will tell them how it works. But you could give us a call and persons can expect to see 50 plus stalls selling various mango-infused dishes.
Oh, okay.
Samples.
So the amount of stalls depends on the registration.
Yes.
Okay.
Bingo.
Do you have a deadline for the registration?
Well, we have been working on it vigorously. We have very high numbers. As a matter of fact, we're very close to 50. But again, don't let that deter you. I know last year persons actually met me in Charles and told me they want to try Mango Fest because of the excitement. Right. And one of the things I would tell you as well, from what we know, there's an effect after. We call it the Mango Festival effect. When you come and you participate in Mango Fest, because of the amount of persons who will come and sample your food, your business increases after the Mango Festival. So I think it's an opportunity for you to showcase what you can do as it relates to your cooking, culinary skills to increase your overall clientele business from the Mango Festival. So I encourage everyone to reach out. Let's have a discussion. Let us hear what you plan to, cook, make for the patrons, and then we'll sign you up once we think it's viable.
Okay, great. Now, the marketing last year for the Mango Festival was at an all-time high. I don't know if it was because it was done jointly with the marketing of Cultural 50 celebrations, but the marketing was commendable.
Thank
We are in the
you.
middle of May as we speak, so tell us how you're feeling about the marketing for this year. Because by this time last year, it was really pumping.
We were pushing last year.
Yes,
It really
yes,
was. I would say, just to speak about Culture Armor 50 last year, one of the things that I had the privilege of last year. So last year we had Culture Armor 50, and last year we had Mango Festival 10. I was the head of marketing for Culture Armor 50.
Right.
And I was also director, so essentially the head for marketing of
Right.
Mango Fest 10. So we had a lot of synergy last year, which I think really worked to the benefit of Culture Armor and Mango Festival. This year, we are working on the Mango Festival. We have a lot of strategies that we've been working vigorously towards. We've been doing a lot of interviews. Our social media as well has really improved dramatically from last year to now. A lot of the imagery and the videos that we use from previous Mango Festival, they're top notch. Swan and our Tambourine company, they have been doing a great job, and we've been really pushing it. And one of the secrets, I would say, because I'm gonna give it out right here, right now, we never stopped marketing Mango Festival from last year.
Okay.
We started a new strategy, so every month we release stuff about Mango Festival, and obviously as the event gets closer, it heats up. So that's what's happening right now. So essentially, we have been heating up. We would have released the tickets April 22nd. We had an early bird special, which ended the 9th of May. And I can't give you the figures, but I will tell you this right now. We have done really well in relations to tickets. Persons are buying tickets. It's like hot bread and butter currently.
I need to
A
get
lot
mine
of
before
people
the run
getting
out.
tickets. you don't need to come. A lot of people coming.
Okay,
People
okay.
excited about this year,
That's good.
which is good.
That's good. Yes. Now, you mentioned it a little while ago, and I'm speaking of the media presence. There was a large media presence around
Yes.
the Mango Fest last year,
Yes.
and I am told, like you just mentioned, that quite a bit of the footage was used as part of your online marketing strategy, or your marketing
Yes.
strategy in a whole, to attract visitors to our shows. Will we be seeing a similar exercise this time around in terms of the media coverage?
Yes, you're always going to see that, if I'm being honest. I would tell you right now, one of the things I love about Mango Festival is, I'm not certain if you've had the chance to just come and stand and look.
Yes.
People are beautiful. They're well attired. You
Yes.
know, they really come out.
The fashion statement as
Boy,
well?
I will tell you, boy, people are beautiful, man. They really, dress the part. And one of the things I would tell you, in every picture I've seen, people are generally just happy. It's like a different vibe,
Yep.
because I would tell you, I myself, I don't get the chance to experience it because we're working. But when I ask person,
Right.
how is it?
Yeah.
How is it? It's, man, the vibe is great, man.
Yes,
And they
yes.
really have a good time. So if you, for 2026, I'm speaking next year, if you so happen to see a picture somewhere, it's because you've had a great time. So don't give us too much licks, come out in your best. You never know, you may end up being the face marketing a Mango Festival in the US or the UK. So yes, that's something that we employ, and we plan to do the same thing again this year.
Great,
Yes.
great. Now, in terms of entertainment, you spoke earlier of the concert you plan
Yes.
to have. But normally you will have some entertainment along in the day as
Yes,
well.
yes.
Tell us a little about what
We
that
usually
will be.
have entertainment during the day, whether it's DJs. Last year we had a lot of folklore. We had the masquerade. We also had Makajombi. And, we had, stuff along that line, the cultural acts. And we are toying with the idea again this year to see who we are going to have during the actual afternoon of the festival before the chef competition. Because I know the chef competition is a big thing. When that starts, it usually draws people down there. But yes, those things will return again.
Okay. Speak to us a little about the economic benefits to persons such as water taxi? Because I mean, it's a big thing. You need to address that subject, right? Yeah, the economic impact.
It's a economic booster. That's what I want to call it. And I think we have seen the benefits of the Mango Festival, in particular on that Sunday. I would have spoken about it in a recent interview. That when you think about that Sunday, you have the water taxis, you have the regular taxis, you have the buses. You have the Ubers, and that's the traveling side of it, right? Now you're also going to look at the agricultural side, so the farmers, the store owners. We have to buy food from all these persons, so you see where I'm going with that. Yes. You also have to look at the MUAs, the makeup artists. You also have to look at the persons that sell the dresses, the clothes, etc. You have to look at the hair. There's so many different businesses that this Mango Festival is touching that day. Right, there's so many sales that's going into this Mango Festival, and I haven't even touched, the airlines, because persons are flying in. Sure. I haven't touched the boats that are traveling, the region from station and other places, so, and the hotel stays, the villas, the Airbnb. So you would see how much the Mango Fest in itself, the impact it has on the economy. So I think that it has grown. And I just want to say thank you to the founding fathers, people like Greg Phillip and the staff members at the time, like Devon Liebert and Julie Claxton, Tracy Fraser, all those persons who were there from the beginning. I'm not certain, I can't speak from the room that they were in when they came up with this and what they saw, where it would have been. I don't know if they saw this, but I know from my understanding it was something that created to boost tourism during the shoulder months, which is slow months. And I think that we are finally here to the point where it's actually happening. Last year we had persons from as far as Africa. The year before, Australia. So, the impact of it is great, and I think we are onto something that's going to get bigger and better. I always say I think this is going to be one of the biggest festivals within the region in 2 to 5 years. And I think I said that 2 years ago. So I think we are in this stage now where we're starting to see it. Yeah.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about that Kittitian crowd coming over, because that is beginning to be a Juve morning crowd.
Saying it's people.
I'm telling you, it is the Mango Festival has gotten so popular that I witnessed last year boats upon boats of persons coming across from St. Kitts. And have the only 5 minutes between St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yes.
It is going like this. So speak a little about that.
Thank you. I want to speak on that. I love to see my Kittitian brothers and sisters come over. As a matter of fact, I did even say in relations to events, because like when you look at music fests, you would see that the boats usually release flyers that would show the trips. And I want to say in Nevis, we are one of the festivals that you have that they're actually releasing early day specials for Mango Fest. And that's a testament to show how big the festival has gotten. And I also want to go on a limb to say, as I say in Sekis, we Nevis people love with KFC when we come over. So it's vice versa now. They love the mangoes. So, they love the mangoes. And because they love their mangoes, they come over to the Nevis Mango Festival. So, if I'm saying anything, I want to invite our Kittitian brothers and sisters. Come on over, we love you in Nevis. So, from the 4th to the 6th, and especially the 6th, come to the Nevis Mango Festival. We love Nevis and we love the mango. So, come over, let's have a mango.
And they're going to have a mango, because I don't know if you noticed the mango season is now later this year.
Yes.
So by in July you're going to have lots of mangoes.
Yes. We've spoken to agriculture and we've prayed about it. So yes, things looking good.
Yes, mango wise.
Mango wise.
Now, Mr. Jones, we now have a lot more parking space surrounding the MGR park. So parking should not be a problem.
No.
But the way persons park is Are there any considerations given to perhaps getting some parking attendants, at least for the Sunday leg of this year's Mango Festival?
Yes, we've been having discussions about that. It hasn't been finalized, but we've had discussions. But while I'm here, if I can speak to that,
Sure.
I just want to tell persons, when you park responsibly, please. I know you're excited, etc. And I know persons even told me that they see cars going as far up to Four Seasons and on the opposite end as far as the bypass. I get it. But again, remember when you park and even when you drive, you have to drive for others and park for others. So, be responsible and mindful of that. And we will see what we can do. I mean, it's a big event. And again, I am happy to see the amount of cars because it speaks to the amount of people at the event. But just let us all be responsible. You are your brother's keeper. And let us be safe and have a good time, and we will come up with any further updates as it relates to the parking attendance, etc. But one of the things I will tell you is that I know usually police, they're on hand and directing the traffic because of the magnitude of the event. So yes, we're trying our best to get all the ducks in a row.
Speaking of police, the Ministry of Tourism has added a few more security personnel to their staff at the MJR, but is there any plans to perhaps bring in some additional security, at least for the Sunday event? Or are you satisfied that what's there could survive?
Well, we just want to say thank you very much to the Ministry of Tourism for bringing in the security. We're very happy for that. But I'll tell you right now, because of the magnitude of the crowd, we have to bring in additional security. It's a lot of people, right? And if you saw last year's crowd, which is 2,536, and from what we are seeing right now, with the anticipation of the numbers, because we went live with tickets since April, and last year we started tickets at the end of May, and the uptake this year has been tremendous. So we are expecting a bigger crowd. So of course we have to increase security, we have to ensure safety, and we want the event to run as smooth as possible. I will tell you again, when persons come to Mango Festival, if you see the crowd, they're generally just happy, they love the vibe, they're eating and they're just socializing, having fun. So we just want to ensure that that is something that we can have continue all the time. So it's about safety. And I just want to invite everyone out to the Nevis Mango Festival.
Okay, great. Now, we spoke of the Kittishan crowd earlier.
Yes.
Do you have an outlet in St. Kitts that is selling tickets because they will need to get their tickets?
No, we actually don't have an outlet because we have everything online. And in this day and age, you have your banking, you have your card. You could just go to nevismangofest.com and you're able to get your tickets online. And we are also toying with the next idea with the QR code, but we release that after, which will speak to more of that. But I can't give that out just yet.
Okay, great. Now, the Mango Fest, as you rightfully said, was put in place to kind of put some beef into the off-season.
Yes.
And that has become very successful.
Yes.
Are there any plans to come up with another initiative of a similar nature to continue to?
Yes.
Would you like to speak to about
I can't say what it is. I can tell you that we've been having discussions with something else. I wish I could have said it. But as we said earlier, the intention hopefully is to make Nevis a year-round destination,
right.
And I'm sure my Kittishan brothers and sisters will gladly say they're trying the same thing as it relates to our sister island. But yes, we have something else that we're working on, and it's not just something else. We have more than one initiative that we're working on. So in the future, when we're able to do that and roll it out, and obviously you start and it builds and builds and builds. So I want to say tourism right now, from our eyes view, is safe and it's growing, and as long as things continue the way it's continuing, I think we will have a good prosperous run for the island of Nevis, and we will continue to focus our efforts, our marketing skills to improve the overall tourism package for Nevis. The intention and my hope is that we have around 7 billion people in the world. How much people in the world? Somewhere up there. I always tell people I wish everybody could visit Nevis at least once. At least once.
Not at the same time.
No, not at the same time. No.
You'll sink us.
We definitely sink us.
Now, after Mango Festival is over, Culturama follows.
Yes,
right
Culturama
behind.
51.
Right,
Mhm.
right behind.
Right behind.
Would the NTA be doing anything at all for Culturama 51?
Of course. As a matter of fact, we help with the marketing of Culturama via our social media platform, digital media, etc. So we have already started to promote Culturama via our marketing efforts, and we also assist in relations to sponsoring a contestant and those kind of things there. So yeah, we're always on board, and anything that they reach out to, where they feel that we can help and be assistance of, we support, because as we always say, culture is all of we.
It is, of course it is.
Yes.
Now, what's next? After the Culturama is the restaurant week.
Yes.
Do you do anything with that as well?
Yes. That initiative is really led by the Ministry of Tourism, so forgive me if I don't have all the information.
I understand.
But from my understanding, I think it starts on the 17th of July, and if that date is incorrect, please forgive me. And it usually runs for 2 weeks. I would have had a discussion with the PS recently, and he's pretty excited about it. I understand that they have made some big headways in that, and they expect a very great restaurant week for 2025. So yes, that's going to happen right after. So as you would see, that's one of the strategies that not only NTA but us as people in tourism have employed as we're trying to make it a year-round destination.
Yes.
And one of the things that we have done, as you see, is the activities. And you would know a sister island, they're on board as well, because they have their activities. Right. And, it goes back and forth. You have the music fest, then you come for the mango fest, then you're going to have the restaurant week, and then you have the culture and then you have the cricket. So you see how we are working with one another. So yeah, definitely there's things to do as we continue to try to make it a year-round destination.
Okay, walk us through what's next for the rest of the year for the NTA, not the Ministry of Tourism, NTA.
Well, there's a lot of things that we are doing right now after the Mango Fest. Well, even before the Mango Fest, we have something very big coming. The NTA, we've been looking and toying with the idea. I think the Premier would have mentioned it actually, of the rebranding process. So that's happening soon. And that will probably happen before the Mango Festival. And then we have the Mango Festival, and then we're going to other initiatives as we prepare for the upcoming tourism season. So that would be a lot of us engaging with our sales representatives that are in the US and the UK. Possibly some road shows, getting out there, really pushing Nevis as we prepare for the upcoming season that starts in October, November. So that is what we will be doing. More off the grid as it relates to you seeing us doing certain things in Nevis, and more outside in the source markets to build the momentum to ensure that the tourism season for 2025-2026 is also another successful one.
Great. Now, what would make Pheon Jones happy at the end of the year about the tourism season? What will make you feel that 2025 was a wonderful year for the Nevis Tourism Authority?
Jones happy?
What would be your crowning? What would you like to see happen?
Well, that would be the start of the 2026 season.
Yes, but I mean the overall year. What would be your crowning moment? What would you like to see done for you to say, yes, 2025 was an excellent year for the Nevis Tourism Authority, by the starting of the tourism season, because we know that starts in November?
Well, I'm very results oriented, actually.
Right.
And, I really could probably speak to the jobs I've been in the past. I'm very big on results. That's actually what motivates me. So essentially my crowning moment will be that if we surpass all of the targets in 2025 from 2024. So once we surpass all the targets, and I'm speaking about from the tourism sector in relations to stays, increase, and we could look at that via the TDL and the activity via the hotels, and know that the stakeholders, all the hotels are very busy right now, and the Mango Festival and all the events and everything surpassing. So once the results for 2025 are way better than 2024, that's my crowning moment. Results.
You're happy with that?
Happy with that.
Okay.
Sleep
Great.
good at nights once I could get there.
Well, Mr. Jones, I want to give you the opportunity now to give your final comments to our listening and viewing audience.
Okay, well,
use
just
this opportunity to
say
what you would like to say to the people who are listening.
Thank you. Well, I just want to say thank you very much for having me on the show tonight. It's always a great opportunity to present what has been happening on the island of Nevis, and I guess in the field sector that I am in, which is tourism. I just want to say to the general public that we are always working on behalf of Nevis, especially when it comes to tourism. The decisions that we are making will not only impact the workers, but for all of the stakeholders and Nevisians and Kititians by extension, as it relates to the tourism sector. We are always working to bring persons to Nevis to experience Nevis. And of course, if you know how tourism works, when you come and you stay, it generates income, so we could improve stuff within Nevis. So that is something that I want to just guarantee persons out there. Once you're listening and hearing the show or viewing it, we are always out there working to the best of Nevis, ensuring that we're improving the tourism product and improving the overall marketing of Nevis, so persons could come, stay with us, spend a little, so we could improve the economy, so all of us could improve the quality of life. And of course, I want you to support us in whichever way you can, even if it's just telling your friends about Nevis. And if you're living in diaspora, encouraging your friends to come home, or you yourself, if you're able to come home, whatever we all can do. If you're coming to a Mango Fest, whatever it is, let us all join together to push Nevis forward, so all of us can benefit as citizens. Once you have an interest in Nevis, I am your friend. Full stop. Let us all work together. And as the Premier usually says, tourism is all about business. So I am for that.
It is. Remind him of your Mango Fest dates again, because that's very, very important.
Well, I think you love mangoes, or you're killing me. Okay, so
tickets availability, very important.
Okay, so just to wrap up on the Mango Fest then. So again, you can come to the office if you want a physical ticket, but you could also go online, www.nevismangofest.com, get your tickets. Just to speak on the ticket prices, especially for the big event this Sunday, $90 will get you 5 samples, $115 will get you 10 samples, and $135 will get you 15 samples. I am telling everyone, come to Nevis on the 2nd or the 3rd. We'll have the opening of the Mango Festival, panel discussion. On the Friday, we'll have the master class, followed by the Mango Mania Family Day, followed by the Penny's Beach Bar Crawl. On the Saturday, which is the 5th, we'll have the passport food tour, and then in the evening, the supper club at Golden Rock. And on Sunday, the big bang, the showstopper at the Malcolm Gishard Park for the love of mangoes. And I just gave ticket prices for that. Come on over to Nevis. I think Nevis is the place to be this year, especially during the Mango Festival from the 4th to the 6th of July. And thank you very much to all the persons who have been supporting Nevis Tourism Authority, the Mango Festival, and by extension the people of Nevis. So thank you everyone, no matter what you do, as long as you're doing something that helps us in Nevis. Thank you very much, and I expect the same level of participation and help going forward. Thank you.
One last question. When would we know who the artists are for the big concert on the Sunday night? Give us a timeline so we can...
You're going to hear about that this month. This month, self. We're just releasing stuff as we go. So, we're building the momentum, as I said earlier. Everything is in place. This year is going to be a very, very, very exciting year. So I just want to, again, if you haven't got your tickets, get them now. It's going to be a time. As the young people say, we had a time. It's a time. It's a time to be alive. Good time to be alive.
And it's a good time to end this program as well. Mr. Jones, I want to thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us this evening. You did disseminate some wonderful information in regards to the Nevis Tourism Authority. I hope we could do it again sometime.
Of course, whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready.
Folks, we have come to the end of another edition of our Bird's Eye Government at Work program. Sorry. Join us again next week when we shall do it all over again. Do enjoy the rest of the evening's programming. Then have a pleasant night's rest. Good night.